Joining us now is technology expert Katie Linendoll. Good morning. Good to see you again.
You as well.
How big an impact has Facebook had on our lives?
It's huge. And talk about a site that has over 500 million users. I mean, in terms of sheer volume, this is remarkable.
Right.
And for me, it's kind of like crazy that it spans generations, too. We have kids on it. We have moms on it. We have grandmas on it. People have their dogs on it. Remarkable. Like it or not, it is integrated into most people's daily lives.
Yeah, it is pervasive and
yes.
then some. Good things about Facebook.
Goods and bad. And of course, with 500 million users, there has to be a number of good pros and cons here. So let's start with the good things. And the obvious one, of course, it's keeping people connected and it's keeping people reconnected. An obvious way to stay in touch with people that you've lost touch with over the years.
And over long distances and your high school friends.
You got it.
Okay.
And a lot of feel-good stories with this one.
Yeah.
Also, let's talk about staying up to date. Facebook kind of inadvertently keeps you in the know with trends and with news. And what we're learning is from friends' pages, we're getting referrals to great news sites and keeping on top of everything. The other day, I learned that there was a new frog discovered in Panama. Had a really busy day. Typically wouldn't have learned something like that. Awesome way to stay in touch over friends' profiles.
And did you share that frog fact with your friends?
It was on my friend's feed.
Oh.
So it's like, I would have never known that with a busy day had I not signed on to Facebook.
That's worthwhile. Yeah. Okay. Opportunities? I guess that's an opportunity. All right.
Yes.
What's a downside? What are some downsides here?
Obviously, Facebook's synonymous with the word privacy. And I think what it's taught us all is...
Or lack of privacy.
Lack of. We don't want to overshare online. And of course, this is something that's big in the digital age. And, you know, in terms of extreme safety, kids cyber harassed and even leading to suicides. The UK has actually recently added a panic button on their Facebook page because a girl was killed. So in terms of extreme safety, do we have to be a little bit more careful, especially in terms of location? It's hot and it's trendy to say what you're doing at all times, but that can also lead the crazy people exactly where you are.
TMI.
TMI is right.
Right. But the other thing that Facebook really comes under heat about is how it uses its you know, the people who are enrolled in it and advertising and all this other sort of stuff.
Yes.
I suppose if you don't want to get what they have to give you, you shouldn't be on Facebook.
A lot of people forget that Facebook is a business, and from there they have to monetize. So much, in fact, that in 2010, their CEO, Mark Zuckerberg, estimates $1.1 billion in revenue. What does that mean? The data that they have on us, from our religious views to our political views to our likes, our interests and hobbies, it is sheerly remarkable in terms of data collection. Advertising. They know a lot about us and they can directly target us.
Sure. Legal implications?
Yes, and a lot of people don't realize this is probably actually in the positive category. A lot of cases criminally are solved using Facebook. Looking up people's feeds, looking up people's status updates. I'll tell you what, divorce attorneys, they love Facebook. You wouldn't believe it. They love digging any piece of dirt possible from the site.
I'll bet. How do you think, in the end of the day, using Facebook has impacted the way we communicate with one another?
I think, you know, we're living in a digital world, and obviously, in terms of that face-to-face interaction and even picking up the phone, we're losing that. And often we forget that things online can be misunderstood, and, you know, you translate them differently. So having that one-on-one interaction, Facebook is another example of how we're losing that.
Hard to read body language.
Very.
Over your iPad.
As I'm like on Facebook right now in between the break.
All right. Katie, thanks so much.
Thanks so much.